Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated and Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions are proud to present 12 rounds of boxing for the Super Featherweight Championship of the World. Brought to you in association with Miller Lite, the MGM Grand and HBO pay-per-view, sanctioned by the WBC President Jose Suleiman and the Nevada State Athletic Commission Chairman John Bailey, Executive Director Mark Ratner. The three judges at ringside scoring this contest on the 10-point system will be Larry O'Connell, Jerry Roth, and Paul Smith. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Kenny Bayless. Tonight, from the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, two of boxing's greatest warriors will turn the page to the third chapter of their magnificent fighting trilogy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, y ahora, damas y caballeros, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue with white, official weight 129 1/2 pounds. Professional record 58 victories, including 41 knockouts, with 4 defeats and 1 no decision. De Ciudad de Mexico, the former 3-time champion of the world, the baby-face assassin, Marco Antonio Barrera. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black, official weight 130 pounds. Professional record 47 victories, including 34 knockouts, with only 1 defeat. De la Zona Norte, Tijuana, Mexico, the 3-time world champion and reigning, defending WBC Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Erik El Terrible Morales.
Now, gentlemen, any punch thrown in this area is considered a clean punch. Any punch thrown in this area is a clean punch. Now, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want you to protect yourself at all times, keep the fight clean at all times. But what I say, you must obey. Good luck, Bruno Suete. Touch gloves.
You got a mouthpiece?
This fight needs no more introduction. All we know for sure is that the Mexican fighter will win. Which one?
Before the bell, Marco Antonio Barrera stared across the ring at Erik Morales, and Morales took a long look around the arena as if to drink it all in. And Barrera goes to work right away. It'll be interesting to see when Barrera first feels the 11-pound weight advantage that Morales has brought into the ring. Marco Antonio is the aggressor to begin the fight.
He looks like he knows something about the weight already because he's throwing vicious punches off top.
What he knows is that he did his best in those 18 rounds when they stood toe-to-toe. And here is Morales saying, okay, you want to go, let's go.
When they stood toe-to-toe in the second 6 rounds of their second fight, judges gave 5 of those 6 rounds to Barrera. Jab knocks Barrera off balance. That's the first hard shot from Morales. Barrera may have to go inside of Morales' long arms all night to negate Morales' punching power. He won't want to be at the end of Erik's punches.
Surprisingly here tonight, Erik is throwing a short overhand right instead of the straight right hand early because Barrera is so close to him.
A little red mark on the top of Morales' nose.
He has a hawk nose, and often it is reddened during fights. That's not unusual. Barrera's making a lot of contact in the first round. He's got his left hook going, and he's red hot. Red hot, right on target. These combinations are landing flush. This is brilliant Barrera stuff.
Those 11 pounds would allow Morales to take them punches a lot better, Jim.
Absolutely. I just like to appreciate the artistry.
Me too. He was always one of my favorite little guys in the sport, Marco Antonio Barrera.
They trade jabs. And that's an area where Morales is likely to have the advantage, particularly with that strength. And again, Morales waited while Barrera landed two combinations before Morales got off some punches of his own.
What Barrera has in mind very clearly is controlled aggression. Box, 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 brawl, brawl, brawl.
Work out.
And it worked very well in that round.
A great first round for Marco Antonio Barrera, going in at a disadvantage against Morales. As we go to the corners where both trainers speak Spanish. Our interpreter is Ray Torres.
You know what we came to do? You gotta hit him more in the body, the plexus. In the middle, the jab, and then the center. Like if you throw a straight right hand. Jab, you know, the left hand.
He seen Morales dip in, throw the left body shot, and follow it with a left uppercut that snuck through the guards. Then Barrera came right back off the straight right hand and threw his left uppercut, caught Morales' right hand down. Beautiful uppercuts by both fighters.
A very sharp Marco Antonio Barrera landed 24 out of 67 punches in the first round, including half his power shots, 21 out of 42. Morales 17 out of 62, 10 of 34 power shots. It was Barrera's round.
Morales' strength and size may prevail in the end of this fight, but to me, he's fighting the wrong fighter against Barrera.
I don't think it'd be the first time either. You heard Morales' corner ask for body shots. They said, hit him in the solar plexus. So far, Erik typically has been headhunting.
Yeah, he's looking for a knockout tonight. He's not trying to outbox Barrera, I don't think. I think he wants to end this once and for all.
Well, as we've mentioned, he doesn't like him. That can be good or bad. There's the power punching assault from Morales, and Barrera gets in a few of his own.
Work out.
One thing seems clear. Barrera isn't likely to wait on Morales tonight. He wants to be first.
That was a good body shot by Morales.
And there's a solid jab. Morales has been knocking Barrera back when he lands the jab, just like that. And now Morales is starting to take over, as Barrera goes into a little bit of a shell when Erik fires the jab repeatedly. Barrera tries his own jab.
Oh, good body shot by Barrera.
Kind of blunted the right hand by Morales. Now Erik lands a left hook, and they trade jabs. Barrera sticks his twice. Morales has to start over.
I believe Barrera has a better jab than Morales. A little stiffer. He has slightly longer arms. Despite the height differential, I don't see any advantage for Morales with his jab.
You might be right.
good body shot by Barrera again.
Watch your heads, watch your heads, Willis, right there.
This is a pattern we've seen frequently between the two
Good
fighters.
shot.
Morales will land upstairs. Barrera comes back downstairs. Again,
combination by
Barrera
Barrera.
beats Morales to the punch with the left hook. Now Barrera gets chopped with a Morales right hand and holds on. That chopping right hand is one of Erik Morales' most effective punches. Now he sweeps the right hand and lands it on Barrera's chin. Now it's Morales who's getting off and beating Barrera to the punch. And Marco goes back to that left hook, which is his primary weapon.
His best weapon. Oh, good right hand.
Terrific round.
What a round. Can these guys fight?
Both of these guys can fight.
Okay, don't delay now. Boxing beautiful. Yeah, he's got a broken nose. Yeah, the punches that he's hitting you because he's too far away. He's far away from you. Jab him and throw the right hand. Make it right, and the right hand with strength.
Here you see Barrera land a 1-2 and a beautiful left uppercut right up the middle on Erik Morales. That is the worst shot you can get caught with in boxing.
And if Morales does indeed have a broken nose, that might have been the punch that broke him.
Yeah, the Barrera corner believes it.
You think he's got a broken nose, Roy? They were putting swabs inside his nostrils.
I don't think it's broken, but I know that was a good shot, and it does have blood coming from it.
Power shots in round two. Morales 23 out of 49. Barrera 17 out of 30. Morales also landed 10 out of 24 jabs. Neither fighter is a stranger to blood.
Keep him up, keep him up.
Comparing the noise now to that during the preliminary fights, it's as though 15,000 people just walked into the arena. Again, Barrera beating Morales to the punch. Knocks him back with the right hand. Morales wants to retaliate. Barrera takes advantage. Counter left hook by Barrera landed flush. Morales lands a right hand and tries to go to the body, but Marco dug in.
When they have fought this way, I've always thought there was a little edge to Barrera in close.
I think there
That
is
his
too.
punches were shorter and quicker, Roy.
And sharper. That's why I don't understand why Erik fights him this way.
Hard right hand by Morales.
May have hurt Barrera because he backed up after that.
Indeed. Hard right hand by Barrera, followed with a good left hook. Barrera has landed more combinations so far.
When he stays in front of Morales, meaning when he attacks first, he always does very well. Like that. Morales seems to be a tad slower at this 130-pound weight than does Barrera.
You're saying that maybe it slows him down a little
It
bit.
seems as though it does, because Barrera seems to be much quicker than him tonight.
Another flurry of punches from Barrera. Morales lunges back one time. Now, good right hand to the body by Morales, and a left hand to the body as well. Gets in a little right inside. They both land uppercuts.
Stop. Watch your heads, fellas. Watch your heads.
Barrera appears to be landing more of the cleaner, meaningful punches, but Morales will never stop fighting him back. Like this.
Again, the chopping right hand by Morales. So effective for him in so many fights.
Yeah, but he believes his size tonight is going to be the factor. He thinks he can impose his size on Barrera tonight.
Well, if Morales thought Barrera was a shot item after the knockout loss to Pacquiao, he has learned already that isn't the case.
Let him breathe. Let him take it easy. This is our fight. Don't go just straight at him. Don't make it a war. Okay, deep breath through the mouth. Whenever you throw that straight right hand, he feels it. That's effective. The right hand's going to do it.
An aerial look at Las Vegas on a beautiful night. Power shots through round 3, CompuBox count. Morales 51 of 129. Barrera 57 of 103. He's landing 55% of his power shots according to CompuBox. Harold Letterman, I think it's a thankless fight to try to score, a scary task. How do you have it through 3?
Easiest pie, Jim. 2 rounds to 1, 29-28. Marco Antonio Barrera. Jim, Roy Jones hit the nail on the head. When Barrera gets off first, Erik Morales gets very, very flustered, and Barrera gets the best of him. No question, Marco does best when he gets off first. Erik Morales fighting with his mouth wide open. There's something wrong with his nose.
I think the nose may well indeed be broken because it now looks flattened around the nostrils. You ever tried to fight with a broken nose, Roy?
No, I tried to fight to make sure I don't get a broken nose. Good uppercut by Erik. That's the problem right there.
Look at the accuracy of Barrera's power punching. So Morales flurries back because he hates to get hit by Barrera.
Yep. But as long as he waits on Barrera, he's going to get hit on a consistent basis.
Because Barrera has lost a couple of big fights by KOs, Morales, in his heart, despite the first 2 fights, believes that Barrera is not in his class. I don't know who he's been talking to, but these fights certainly show otherwise.
Well, I don't know if Morales really believes that.
Oh, good uppercut.
To say it. What a tremendous uppercut by Barrera.
By Barrera then.
Morales seems totally unable to stop Barrera's left hand. Barrera's landing the jab and the hook.
Nothing he can do about it tonight.
And once again, Morales attacks with wild, long swinging punches, and Barrera steps inside and rips him with counters. There's blood all over Barrera's back. It's coming from Morales' nose.
Good right hand by Barrera.
This is a very big round by Marco Antonio Barrera. He's not just scoring, he's hurting Morales in this round. Now Morales tries to fashion a rally with 40 seconds to go in the round. Barrera has been calm and precise in a fight with raging intensity.
Good body shot by Barrera.
Tremendous left hook to the body. Morales misses. Barrera moves back away.
Oh my goodness, that's a beautiful uppercut that Barrera is throwing.
And as a result of the brilliance of Barrera's left hand, not only is Morales' nose bleeding and perhaps broken, but his right eye is beginning to swell. These could be big factors in the fight, and now they trade.
We expected nothing less.
Right now, as you look across the ring, Golden Boy promoters Richard Schaefer and Oscar De La Hoya are celebrating. They're very happy with what Barrera's doing.
Okay, there's no more blood coming out of the nose. The hemorrhage is clear. How come you didn't tell me that you had problems with your nose? Listen to me. Box him from your distance, from the far. Don't stay in there.
Carlos, no quiero que los puntos después vayan a pesar, ¿eh? Tienes que ir arriba.
You gotta press him. I don't want later on that the points go against you.
Well, Roy Jones, you said yourself you thought Morales was fighting the wrong fight, staying too close to Barrera. It appears that his father and trainer, Jose Morales, believes the same thing.
Yeah, because if he keeps walking into an uppercut, the fight is not going to last much longer.
Total punches in round 4. Morales 11 out of 73. He was not accurate in that round. Barrera 21 out of 70, but 13 out of 35 of his power shots. And it appeared clearly to be Barrera's round.
Yeah, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, Jim. Look at the left bicep of Barrera. Look at the right bicep of Morales. The biceps being that big, he's going to be better compact punching than he is long-range punching. Whereas Morales is going to be better long-range punching because look at his biceps. He has longer biceps.
I hear you. So on body type alone, the style of the fight ought to be clear.
Once again, I think Morales is trying to save up and rather on a late round knockout.
You better start thinking about winning rounds.
You're right. I'm not saying that's right. I just say that's what I think he's doing.
Well, if there's ever been a knock on Erik Morales in his career, a general tactical knock, it is that he doesn't fight well going backward. He's never had to do that much.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to be a big enough rally in these late rounds to beat Barrera if he lets Barrera win many more of these rounds. Barrera's doing something very smart. He keeps hitting Morales to the body to take the energy away from him, too, so that if he's tired, he won't be tired by himself in the late round.
And he's absolutely tattooing him with left hooks. And another left hook lands. And to the body. Morales is throwing, and Barrera just picks the target and bombs it with the left hook.
Very economical tonight. Oh, good right hand by Barrera.
Barrera is beating him to the punch from outside and inside. He's landing harder punches.
And he's considerably more accurate and considerably more comfortable with what he's trying to do. But now here comes Morales going forward and chopping with the right hand, which is what he likes to do. Barrera tries to back him off with a left hook to the body. Throws the long 1-2. When he throws the 1-2, you get to see how long that right arm is. Right hand lead for Morales. Morales seems to have dispensed with the jab for the time being.
Yeah, because it wasn't landing.
He was getting beaten by it.
With the fight being outside, Morales has a better chance to win the fight. As you see him landing straight right leads now because he's fighting outside. Right there, he's not going to win the fight.
Barrera stepping inside and hammering Morales in the corner. Erik Morales is falling behind on the scorecards in a fight in which it seems unlikely he can afford to do so.
Barrera fighting his version of a perfect fight.
You gotta prove something. Hey, what's going on? Come on, let me work on the nose. You're giving him a beating. We came to beat the shit out of him, and we're doing that.
Here you see Barrera landing at 1-2. Boom, the right hand right on the forehead stops anything Morales was thinking about doing. Then here one more time, you see a left hook followed by an overhand right.
Crunch.
The 1-2, no matter if it's straight or if it's from the side, is working very well for Barrera tonight.
Power shots in round 5. Morales 6 out of 31. Barrera 16 out of 29. Marco Antonio Barrera, throughout the fight, round by round, is still landing more than half of his power shots, targeting Erik Morales so accurately. Erik Morales said to us yesterday, I shouldn't have to be in this fight. I am so much better than him. Everybody knows it. He's just a guy that you HBO people have built up into something bigger than what he is. Well, we didn't get to avenge that statement, but right now Barrera's doing it.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
It's interesting because after the first fight, Barrera said they gave the decision to the HBO fight.
Exactly.
Morales.
They've both been on that particular campaign at one time or another.
My thing tonight is Erik Morales is fighting like a guy who really doesn't want to be here right now. Barrera is fighting like a guy who has a motive, has a reason that he's in there. When a guy fights with reason, he's much harder to deal with than a guy who just fights because he's just out there to fight.
So when Morales said to us yesterday, I shouldn't have to be here, he was revealing something that he probably shouldn't have revealed.
Well, yeah. Oh, that was a good body shot, too. Yes, he was revealing something that he shouldn't have revealed. That means that you have no interest here. And that's why he's just trying to knock Barrera out. He's not trying to win the fight the right way.
Well, his arrogance is not being rewarded as Barrera has been taking him to school. And still it happens as Barrera stops him in his tracks with a body shot, hammers him with 2 right hands, ducks and slips the left and the right.
And I like Morales.
And hits him with a brilliant uppercut. What a great rally by Barrera.
Yes, I like Morales as a fighter, always have, but Barrera is the best small man in boxing that I've seen in the last decade.
And Roy, with all tremendous respect to yourself, I think he's the smartest fighter I've ever met.
Yep. Oh, good right hand.
What a right hand and a left hook that just walloped
That hurt Erik. Oh, his knees buckled.
The last thing in the world a lot of people thought was that Marco Antonio Barrera could come in and knock out Erik Morales. But he's hurting Morales with shot after shot. And the blood is flowing again from Morales' nose, and Erik puts his glove up to it.
This is what happens when you underestimate a guy because you think that he's not better than you.
Arrogance served you well for a long time, Roy.
Oh, yeah, but
You gotta know how to place it in against whom, right?
Exactly. There are always going to be some guys that seem to give you a harder time. You just got to know that.
And pay respect where respect is due.
Simple as that.
Brilliant combinations. Barrera's confidence is rising.
All right, stop. Up. Keep him up.
But he's probably too smart to take an unwarranted chance. Although he gets hit with a left hook there.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
comes back with a harder left hook.
And a harder right hand.
Marco Antonio Barrera is separating himself from Erik Morales tonight. And the Mexico City fans are on their feet. There's a very happy Oscar De La Hoya. He's standing up. So is his partner, Richard Schaefer. And next to them, Bob Arum and his lovely wife, Lovey, are sitting down.
You're making him miss everything. You got to throw the right hand to the bottom. You're going to control him. You're the master.
There, the uppercut off of the left hook you saw Barrera throw. I told you he's been working his left hand beautifully tonight. Here you see that 1-2 that caught Erik coming in. He's beat him to the punch. This 130 pounds is not looking good on Erik Morales to me.
Erik Morales came in once again, unofficially weighing 143 pounds. Marco Antonio Barrera weighed in at 129.5, came in at 132. Logically enough, we thought 11-pound weight advantage for Morales. That will hurt Barrera. It's been exactly the opposite way around. Morales has been too slow. Barrera has been way quick.
Way quick. And I can guarantee you, though, the one thing is that had he not been 11 pounds heavier than Barrera, he would have been touched the canvas tonight already.
You know, the great trainer Customato said that a great fighter always has one great fight left in him. And so far, Barrera has delivered on that.
Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim. 59-55. 5 rounds to 1. Marco Antonio Barrera. Marco's really mugging him, Jim. He's landing at that half hook, half uppercut consistently. And he's got Erik Morales pretty well busted up.
In the last round, by CompuBox numbers, Marco Antonio Barrera landed 22 out of 34 power shots. That's equivalent to what Felix Trinidad was doing to Ricardo Mayorga by the end of their fight in Madison Square Garden last month.
Yeah. I think Morales knows what's going on. You can never count him out. He's so strong. He has such a great fighting spirit.
Well, he could come back and dominate the second half of the fight just the way Marco has the first half. It wouldn't be out of the question.
What makes that hard to believe, however, is that Barrera is unmarked, seems fresh, relaxed.
Oh, good counter by Erik Morales.
Great right hand. His best punch of the fight.
And Barrera even countered that, though.
But you can see from that short counter right hand, Morales is still in there. He's not going to wilt. But even his father has asked a couple times, what is going on?
People think it's easy to tote this new weight around. It's not as easy as it seems all the time, you know?
But Morales is so far winning this round.
But without having done a lot of damage. And now Barrera hammers him with the right hand to the body. the round is close enough that Barrera could still steal it with a late rally.
Good jab by Barrera.
Last 30 seconds will probably decide the round. Morales lands a couple of right hands there. Barrera goes back at him with the left. Morales blocked that long right hand. Barrera had a chance to step inside, but backed away.
I think Barrera's resting this round.
I agree with you, Roy.
Well, let's see if he tries to steal it. Good right hand by Morales, and now Erik has probably won the round clearly. So Barrera may as well take the rest of the round off. And he doesn't. That was Morales' best round since the second.
That was a good body shot at the end by Morales.
Let's give me a towel here. Okay, you let yourself down a little bit. Hey, whenever you want, you hit him, so throw punches. From the far, that's your boxing. Breathe through your mouth. That's it. Loosen his protector.
Right here you see Morales counter Barrera's right jab with a right hand. Even there you see Barrera come out with another counter right though. That's saying a lot. Then you see Morales land the right hand over like an overhand right, followed by a 1-2 combination.
Erik Morales' biggest round as he landed 13 power shots to only 3 for Barrera. Both Roy Jones and Larry Merchant offering that perhaps Barrera was getting a little rest in round number 7. And his corner acknowledged to him that they were sure he'd lost the round. So Morales gets a little life. Let's see what he can do with it. His right eye is swelling. His nose is bleeding and partially flattened. Barrera, as Larry Merchant pointed out, still looks clean.
Oh, good shot.
There's the big rally. Barrera took him pretty well, but that was 4 or 5 solid power shots by Erik Morales.
That was a beautiful counter right hand over top of Barrera's jab.
And suddenly Morales comes alive, and so does the Tijuana crowd. Body shot, good idea. Another left hook to the body.
Morales seems to have found a more stable way to deal with Barrera. He seemed confused early in the fight, whether to fight him at distance or close up.
And it's somewhere in between now.
Yeah, but get with him outside. You can counter his jab like he just did. You can land big punches and not get caught with big punches. Right there, you don't want to be.
Morales, for the last 4 minutes, has been going forward. Now Barrera seems to want to stem the tide. Now that Erik is working harder to set up his upstairs power shots with body punches, he's much more accurate. And Barrera begins to just paw with the jab, rather than throwing it as sharply as before.
That's what happens when you eat a couple of straight right leads over top of your jab, Jim.
Absolutely. Momentum of the fight has changed. Barrera's going to have to be brave again to switch it back around.
That's not a problem for him.
Barrera blocked those 2 right hands and hammered Morales to the body. Now Morales lands another right, gets in a left hook. Barrera with a chopping right, and another chopping right. Fight's getting closer. This has been another pretty good round for Erik Morales. But instead of just wading through it as he did in the 7th round, Barrera has been fighting back here. First 6 rounds were a technical masterpiece from Marco Antonio Barrera. Now we've got a different fight. Chilly, clear weekend in Las Vegas. Beautiful shot of what I'm told is the world's largest hotel. How many rooms? Well, it would take you more than 13 years to stay in every one of them for one night.
Okay. Yeah, hit him to the plexus, and then the right hand to the body, to the plexus. A lot of jabs is what you need to do. Hey, you came here like a challenger, and like a challenger, you gotta take the title. You can't win the title unless you do something.
Right here, you see Morales counter that jab of Barrera with a straight right lead and double the right hand. Beautiful combination by Morales.
Early in the fight, Barrera attacked Morales. He may choose to do that again right here.
CompuBox numbers in round 8. Both guys landed 19 punches, but 18 of Morales's were power shots, as opposed to 10 for Barrera. Fight getting closer on Harold Letterman's scorecard, probably on the official scorecards as well.
Step back, step back.
Again, the curious anomaly coming in. When Erik Morales got a decision in the first fight against Marco Antonio Barrera, most ringside observers thought Barrera had won. When Marco Antonio Barrera got a unanimous decision in the second fight, many ringside observers thought Morales deserved it. Either way, they're 1-1, and that's probably the way it should be. That was blocked.
Good defense by Barrera. Glad to see him finally block that straight right lead.
Well, he blocked it partially because he's kept his jab at home a little bit more.
Good hook by Barrera.
Takes the right hand, hammers Morales back into the corner with a left hook. Barrera's left hook has not been a factor in either of the last 2 rounds. He needs to make it a factor again to roll on home and win the fight.
Now it's an outside fight, Jim, and that's why Morales is doing much better now than he was early in the fight.
Sticks the jab and lands it. Let's see if Barrera gets penalized for hitting to the back of the head. No, he gets the first warning from Kenny Bayless.
But Morales was holding his glove.
Morales doesn't want to touch gloves with Barrera. What else is new?
Barrera's starting to let his left hook go again. He caught Morales again to the body there.
Morales caught him with a good left hook too. Oh, good
And a
right
jumping right hand lands flush. Barrera's starting to reassert himself. Morales gets in 2 body shots.
Good
and
body
another
shot.
big left hook upstairs by Barrera is the showier punch. Now suddenly Barrera's in charge again.
If Barrera finishes this round strongly, he may already have 6 rounds, which would put him in a commanding position.
And he's trying to do exactly that, and Morales knows it.
You think fighters are aware of this kind of thing, or are they just fighting, Roy?
Oh, they're aware of it. Morales knows, and so does Barrera.
Jumping right hand again lands for Barrera. He's been brilliant in the last minute.
And Morales is throwing some brilliant body shots, though. Oh, good right hand.
And that last right hand by Barrera was probably enough to win the round. And then the punch after the round was enough to get Morales' anger back up. I don't know what they charged to see the first 9 rounds, but they ought to charge double to see the next 3.
I'm gonna talk to him. Understand? Okay.
Hey, there's no need for you to do that, Marcos.
Do anything careless to make me come to this side, understand? And everything.
Hey, listen to me. 2 and 3 punches what you gotta do.
Round 10 begins. Barrera rallied big in the ninth, 26 out of 69 by CompuBox numbers, 20-12 in power punches. Harold, how do you have it coming to the last three?
Okay, Jim, 6 rounds to 3, 87-84, Marco Antonio Barrera. Jim, in rounds 7 and 8, Marco Antonio Barrera just didn't get off first. And when he doesn't get off first, and Morales gets off first, Morales seems to take the offensive and do a hell of a lot better. Barrera started getting off first in round 9 and won it easily. 6-3, Barrera.
Solid uppercut by Barrera during that exchange. Roy, do fighters hear Harold Letterman's scorecard in the ring?
I usually do, so I'm sure they do too.
Well, you know, I feel I have the same score, and what it means is that unless there's a knockdown, Barrera can't do worse than a draw, if we're right.
And you never know.
And a draw would be another emotional victory for Barrera, as in the first fight.
Well, win or lose, it's been a stirring comeback in Barrera's career. A lot of people simply gave up on him after Pacquiao strafed him a year ago.
Exactly, and he has said all along, okay, I had a bad night. I lost to a terrific young fighter. That doesn't mean I'm done. He came back against Ayala to show that he was still eager, and he is showing that against this guy, this world-class guy, he's as good as he can be.
In other words, not only is he still alive and well, but he's still great.
Yeah.
I have to confess I wasn't sure.
Nobody was.
Tremendous combination by Barrera. He's seizing the action again. Morales is waiting on Barrera, and he can't afford to do it.
He cannot win the fight waiting on the short of Barrera.
Erik Morales is going to have to go after Marco Antonio Barrera and put his imprint on these next 3 rounds if he's going to win the fight. So now it appears, Larry, that after Morales made the effective adjustment to turn the fight in his favor, Barrera has readjusted again.
Yeah, which is to know that he has to do more of selective attacking.
Big right hand by Morales in there, but it was only the one shot. Again, Morales touches his nose. An indication that it has been troublesome for him. That nose might have been flattened in the very first round. Certainly by the end of round 2, it was bleeding. They trade again, but it's hard to imagine how you could have given that round to Morales, and that's very bad news for his corner.
You gotta do the distance. Why so close? Hey, we're going to the 11th now. We got to win the next 2 rounds. Don't let him take the initiative. Don't put no more water in him. No more water. Come on. Now come out and throw it all. Let it all hang out. Throw it all. Throw a lot of punches. Don't wait for anything. Keep constantly punching. Let loose.
Barrera is in the lead, apparently, and his corner doesn't want him to let up. Morales comes out of his corner more than halfway to meet Morales.
And there's the jab back into the face of Erik Morales. Roy Jones, uncharacteristically, Erik Morales only threw 39 punches in that last round. Is it even possible that he's discouraged?
He's not discouraged. He's just a fighter that's fighting without a purpose tonight.
Another hard right by Barrera in there.
And a left hook.
He wants to knock Barrera out, but that's just because he doesn't want to work and do it the hard way. He's looking for the easy way out tonight. Anytime a guy comes in and looking for a knockout, he's looking for an easy way out. And it's not happening for him yet. And it's discouragement when it's not happening for him.
Barrera is punches to the body, and that sets up the hard punches to the head. Morales seems to be only going for the head, Roy.
Going for the knockout, like I told you.
Well, maybe he knows that he needs to get it. There's a good body punch by Morales at last.
Wonderful body shot.
Fight fans in the Western Hemisphere have talked for the rest of their lives about the 36 rounds that these two fighters fought.
A hard left hook inside may have hurt Barrera.
But Barrera doesn't want to show it.
And he's holding on.
Good body
He
shot.
fires a body shot to stop the damage. Barrera with two big shots. Caught Morales with the uppercut. Morales catches him with the left. Another right hand for Morales. Marco bearing in and staying close, not allowing Morales to get the distance to hammer him with those power punches.
And that's what he needs to do.
Barrera needs to keep going into the jaws of line.
Fight the John Ruiz fight. Stay close to him.
There is no doubt in my mind that Barrera is very tired.
There's no doubt in my mind that they're both very tired.
Well, Barrera a little bit more.
Does look the fresher.
A little bit more tired, just holding on here.
Oh, good body shot by Barrera.
Well, you can certainly expect a tired Marco Antonio Barrera to summon the will to keep going.
Oh, good body shot again.
There's seldom been a more willful fighter. This is a great round, guys.
Oh,
It's a tremendous round, and that was a whale of a left hook.
Where did Barrera come up with that?
Left hook. That left hook was the biggest punch of the round. It's a street fight in Las Vegas for the two greatest Mexican fighters of their generation.
I want the same thing again. Don't break.
And now everyone's on their feet.
You're gonna win. Last round. You think they got him ahead? A jump on top of him. We gotta close big.
This is what we came for.
I hate the fact that it has to end.
This is what we're getting.
What a round. They landed 87 power punches in that round. Marco Antonio Barrera landed more than half his power shots. In fact, 60% of them. 42.
And Morales concedes the great fight that Barrera is fighting by touching gloves with him, something he has steadfastly refused to do.
Morales almost knocked Barrera down. Marco didn't go down.
He slipped. He slipped very slip on the middle of that right, and whatever that sign is in the middle is wet and it's slipped on there now.
He somehow kept himself up.
Yeah, he did. The referee actually helped him, I think.
Barrera probably doesn't have to win the round.
No, he doesn't.
He probably does have to stand up.
Well, you got to stay up on his feet, but you don't have to win the round. I think you win the fight even if he gets knocked down this round, as long as he gets up.
If they've scored it correctly.
Barrera's doing the right thing by getting off first.
Right now, the two fighters are both exhausted. The last 4.5 minutes of action are like nothing you've ever seen. Unless, of course, you watch Daddy Ward.
Or their first fight.
The round they just fought, the 11th, could go into a time capsule, much like the 5th round of their first fight, the 9th round of Ward Gaddy won. Less than a minute and a half to go. Morales seems aware that this is his last shot. Barrera's going to fight fire with fire. They're going to throw leather down the stretch. Marco Antonio Barrera doesn't know how to run. He only knows how to fight.
And that's the best thing for him, Jim. He's a shorter guy. He has the shorter arms. He's best to stay as close to Morales as he can. It's safer for him.
Barrera.
A raging passion on the part of both fighters. Morales momentarily had his legs tangled up in the ropes. Less than a minute to go.
That jab from Barrera is very effective tonight.
Blood streaming from Morales' eye and nose. Barrera was momentarily in dangerous territory, right in Morales' punching range. Now he goes back inside. Erik Morales is going to try to mask for one final assault. Marco Antonio Barrera is so tired he can barely stand up.
He's like a miler who runs to the tape and collapses at the tape. He's giving every ounce that he has in his body.
One last big left hook, and it might have been enough. They're savagely trained until the final bell. Yes, and beyond. I'm standing up too. My God, what a fight.
Boxing at its best.
What these two guys have given to the sport
Wow.
cannot be quantified.
Wow.
Harold Letterman gives the last 2 rounds to Erik Morales, but still Barrera has won the fight on his card. I would have given the 11th to Barrera.
I probably would have given the 12th to him.
Judges are Larry O'Connell from England. After he scored, Lewis Holyfield won a draw. He went back to England and said, you know what? I made a big mistake. I know that Lennox really won the fight. Jerry Roth of the United States. Very famous judge, been around a long time. Scored Trinidad De La Hoya for Trinidad, which was the official outcome of the fight. Roth is known to favor the aggressor, or at least that's what fighters think about him. Paul Smith of the United States was one of 3 judges who all scored De La Hoya Sturm, 115, 113 for De La Hoya. The crowd thought otherwise. Once again, Erik Morales is the man who said to us yesterday, you guys built Barrera up. He's not in my league. Well, that at least was proven wrong.
Yep, that definitely was. When you hear a guy talk about a guy like that and you know that's not the case, it's almost disrespectful to other fighters.
And now they put Barrera up on the shoulders of the men in his corner and walk him around.
And I think that should be good enough because the fans know who won the fight.
Roy Jones, let's look at some amazing highlights of this fight. Round 1, Marco Antonio Barrera immediately established that he was going to be the aggressor and try to control the fight. Round 5, Barrera still doing that. By our lights, he won 5 of the first 6 rounds. Then in round 7 and 8, Erik Morales seemed to fight the correct distance at which to fight Marco Antonio Barrera, began to go forward and seemed to take over the fight. In round 9, Marco Antonio Barrera seemed to turn it around again, as once again he made his left hook a primary factor. And then Roy Jones, rounds 11 and 12, you can only describe this in terms of guts, blood, and commitment.
And heart.
A desperate Morales looked for a knockout in the last round. A desperately tired Barrera hung on for dear life, firing back as often as he could. A tremendous, tremendous show.
Couldn't ask for a better fight, Jim.
One man will get to go through the rest of his life saying, I won 2 of these 3 fights. Which one is it? Michael Buffer is about to tell us.
Here at the MGM Grand, we have seen 2 of the greatest fighters in the world complete 36 rounds, and this, their 3rd and greatest effort. A round of applause for both Marco Antonio Barrera and Erik Morales. We go to the judges' scorecards. Paul Smith scores it 114 to 114 even. Jerry Roth and Larry O'Connell both score the bout 115 Pardon me, Larry O'Connell 115 to 114. Jerry Roth 115 to 113 for the winner by majority decision. And new WBC Super Featherweight Champion of the World, de Ciudad de Mexico, Marco Antonio Barrera.
What an amazing career. Barrera rose to prominence as the baby-faced inheritor to Julio Cesar Chavez's tradition of great body punching. Then suddenly he was knocked out and defeated again in a decision by Junior Jones and seemed to have fallen off of the top pedestal in the sport. He came back with his great performance against Erik Morales in the first fight, but didn't get the decision. Then he outpointed Prince Nassim Hamed and has been among the best in the sport ever since. Morales landed 231, Barrera 59 more. Morales threw 43 more. Barrera was clearly the more accurate puncher. Power shots, and this, of course, is where the fight was fought. Barrera landing 41 more as he hammered Morales throughout the fight with straight right hands, left hooks upstairs, and left hook to the body. Morales, with each round, threw more power punches, trying to get himself back into the fight. But Barrera's connect percentage of 49% on power shots ultimately was the difference. He painted Morales' face. That probably won him the fight. Let's go to Larry Merchant in the ring.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Marco Antonio. Is this the crowning achievement of your career?
¿Este es lo máximo de tu carrera, esta pelea?
Yo creo que sí, haber ganado 3 títulos en diferentes divisiones fue lo mejor para mí. Unos guantes que no me quedaban, la verdad me duelen las manos, pero quisimos demostrar que unos guantes no nos paran.
Absolutely, having won 3 titles, it's amazing. I had a little trouble with the gloves. They didn't fit, but we made the best of it.
What was your plan of attack in this fight, and why did it work so well?
¿Cuál era tu plan de ataque en esta pelea y por qué trabajó tan bien ese plan?
Bueno, la idea era encimarlo, estar encima de él porque él es muy peligroso a su distancia y lo estuvimos cerrando. Unos rounds nos dejamos llegar, pero los demás estuvimos adentro.
The plan was to be aggressive, jump on top of him because we know that from the distance he's very dangerous. We did that. In a few rounds we didn't do what we were supposed to, but we were successful.
Did you find that even though he was much bigger than you, that you were quicker and especially inside, and that gave you the advantage?
Encontraste tú que aunque él era más grande y más fuerte que tú, pero tú fueras más rápido, más ligero que él, y eso te dio la ventaja.
Fue la ventaja que tuvimos más rapidez, estuvimos entrando y saliendo. Él es de pegada fuerte, es un pelador de 130 grande, pero gracias al plan de trabajo todo salió bien. Queríamos demostrarles que con todos sus guantes, Oscar de la Hoya y Barrera están muy por encima de Erik Morales y de Top Rank.
That was the plan, to box and move, to be swift. And we know that he's a hard puncher because we wanted to show him that his gloves weren't going to prevail.
He seems to have held you beneath him somewhat in contempt, and especially because you lost to Pacquiao the way you did. How much did that help you that he seemed to dismiss you?
Él en muchas ocasiones te ha menospreciado, especialmente después de la pelea de Pacquiao. ¿Cuánto te puso eso para que pudiera hacer eso a favor tuyo?
Bueno, yo creo que lo de Pacquiao fue una mala noche. Oscar de la Hoya lo sabe, por eso nunca dejó de confiar en mí. Y es por eso que yo quería esta pelea, una pelea fuerte para demostrarle a mi nuevo equipo que pues con este examen demostramos que son puras habladurías, que la cabeza y que no la cabeza. Y bueno, con Oscar de la Hoya esperamos que pues estemos entrando en el gusto de la gente, porque Oscar es un gran jefe, un gran amigo.
Well, as I said before, with the Manny Pacquiao was an off night, with a lot of things involved. We prepared well with my new with my promotional group, Oscars. We're going to do great.
You went over at the end of the fight and tried to shake his hands as you have done before, but he seems to be unable to do that. What are your thoughts about this?
Después de la pelea, usted fue un caballero, un deportista y fue a saludarlo y él no quiso nada de eso. ¿Cuáles son tus pensamientos sobre eso?
Bueno, fue muy triste. Le aventó el agua a mi papá en la cara. Eso es muy mala educación. Yo creo que somos buenos deportistas y no debe de hacer eso. No se vale porque somos el ejemplo de mucha gente.
We're very sorry for that. We went over there to congratulate him. He threw water in my dad's face. This is not what good sportsmen people do. It's a shame.
Thank you again, Marco Antonio. And I just want to ask one or two questions to your promoter right here.
My boss. He's my boss.
He's your boss. All right, tell us, how big is this for you compared to winning a big fight?
Well, this is big for us, a team. We're a team. Like I said, he keeps on mentioning that I'm his boss. No, he's my boss. Let's put it that way. The fighter is in control. That's the way it should be, and it does big for Golden Boy Promotions. But ultimately, the fighters are the ones inside the ring, and they're the bosses.
And did you have confidence as a fighter, as well as a promoter, that he still had this kind of effort left in him, Oscar?
When he fought Manny Pacquiao, I knew it wasn't Barrera in there. I knew it as a fighter, and as a friend, as a promoter, I knew it wasn't him in there. So I knew Barrera has a lot left inside of him. I knew it. It's a matter of just training hard and focusing. That's all he needs. And that's why he showed that he's a real fighter, the people's champion here tonight.
Thank you again, Mark Antonio. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jim?
All right, thank you very much, Larry Merchant. Excruciating, as I said earlier this evening, to try to score a fight like this. Let's look at what the three judges wound up with in terms of assessing what happened here tonight. Jerry Roth's scorecard, 115-113 for Barrera, was identical to the card that you saw Harold Lederman score throughout the fight. Identical, in fact, round by round. 5 of the first 6 rounds to Barrera, the 9th and 10th rounds to Barrera, the 7th and 8th and 11th and 12th, all of them for Morales. That's pretty much the same situation for Paul Smith, who wound up scoring the fight even, with the sole exception of the fact that he scored the 3rd round for Erik Morales. That's how it became 114-114 instead of what Roth and Lederman had at 115-114, or 115-113. At the end of the day, the fight was won by Marco Antonio Barrera because Larry O'Connell of England scored the 11th round even, rather than to give it to Morales. Because Barrera got the extra point, 10 points instead of 9, in the 11th round, he won the fight by a single point. Let's go back to Larry Merchant in the ring.
Thank you again, Jim. How badly were you hurt in the first round?
¿Cuánto te golpearon? ¿Estabas dolorido en el primer round?
No, estaba muy tieso, no podía hacer golpes. Pero bueno, y no fue como hasta el cuarto que empecé a soltarme poco a poco y pues ni modo.
I wasn't really hurt in the first round, but I just couldn't get off. It wasn't until the 4th round when I started to get going.
Do you believe your nose is broken? Did you have a breathing problem?
¿Tú piensas que tu nariz está fracturada? ¿Tuviste problemas respirando?
No, estaba sangrando de un orificio. Y bueno, pues de repente no podía respirar por la nariz, tenía que respirar por la boca, pero bueno, parte del trabajo.
There was some difficulty breathing through the nose, so that's why he had to breathe through the mouth. And he was bleeding.
You have been saying over and over that he is not on your level. Did you underestimate him coming into this fight?
Tú has estado diciendo que Marco Antonio Barrera no está al nivel tuyo. ¿Tú lo menospreciaste en esta pelea?
No, en absoluto. Hice lo que tenían que hacer. Sin embargo, bueno, creo que también hay que recalcar que son muchos golpes ilícitos. Se los permitieron. Además, más, mira, puedes ver aquí. Tú sabes que no es parte del boxeo. Así pasa. ¿Qué puedo hacer?
I didn't underestimate him. I did what I had to do to prepare for a good fight. I thought he might have given me a few fouls and a few illegal blows, but that's part of boxing.
Fue una pelea muy cerrada y bueno.
It was a very close fight.
At the end of the fight, he came over to you and wanted to shake your hands. You can't do it. Why do you hold him in such contempt? Why do you dislike him so much?
Después de la pelea, él vino acerca de ti para hablarte, para felicitarte. Tú no lo quisiste hacer. ¿Por qué tú lo desprecias tanto a él?
Yo no lo desprecio, simplemente yo tengo dignidad, cosa que usted no conoce. Y hago lo que tengo que hacer. Me doy a respetar a mí mismo y eso para mí es importante.
I don't have any contempt for him. I don't think he's any less. I do what I have to do.
and I have a lot of dignity, and it's things involved in the boxing
He
world.
said you were a bad sport. What do you reply?
Él dice que tú eres un mal deportista. ¿Qué tu respuesta?
Este es mi trabajo. Yo hago mi deporte con dignidad, con respeto y hago con las reglas del juego. No necesito usar faules ni otras cosas para hacer mi deporte.
It's my job, and I do it well with a lot of dignity. I don't have to use fouls to win a fight.
All right, thank you very much, Erik. Making excuses, rationalizing, alibying. He just can't admit that Barrera is as good a fighter as he is, if not better. Jim?